Go therefore and make disciples of all nations. Go into all the world and proclaim the gospel to every creature.
Man was called to have dominion over all that God created, but when man fell in the very beginning, not only was humankind's eternal destiny at stake, but the very foundations of our society were permeated. Imperfection and evil spread from the individual level to the communal. Nations and peoples floundered and strayed from the Lord their Creator. Kings ruled with tyranny. Families were broken. They entertained themselves with destructive evil. They cheated and enslaved one another. Their endeavors had no moral limits. Lies spread around the globe and the truth was abandoned. But God had a plan. It began with an individual taking a step of obedience to go, and ended up in a nation becoming a blessing to all the nations. God's plan involved a nation for which He wrote guidelines on how a people could live in peace, prosperity, and intimate relationship with their Creator. Then came God Himself, who showed man how it was done and took on the punishment for our failure. Before ascending to His heavenly throne, He gave us a commission to preach the good news to every creature and to disciple all nations. Our mission isn't just rescuing the lost off a sinking ship, and it isn't about making people's lives as comfortable as possible in this life. We are called to redeem every person and community to live freely for Christ in every area of life, for the fullest worship of God. God makes little distinction in His word between sacred and secular. Every aspect of our lives, our families, businesses, entertainment, the way we run our government, how we educate, what we do in science, is of a concern to God. But for far too long, Christians have been retreating from the spheres of society or reserving their faith for Sunday mornings, feeling that God only values church activities. There are 7 spheres of society in our world: church, family, government, education, media, arts and entertainment, science and business. We as the church are called to be a royal priesthood, a holy nation, the salt of the earth, a city on a hill. We can't just preach a message about salvation and not about a life lived after salvation. That's like entering the kingdom of heaven and just staying at the gate. We are meant for so much more. We go into the nations with God's gifts to better the people, to give them an eternal hope, and to set them free. Not to be a duplication of ourselves, but to live as a unique culture, following the Word of God themselves. May all the nations bring their treasures to the throne of God, because the kingdom of heaven is at hand.